to highlight our wings, we're going to use the white colored pencil. On the scalloped edge, we'll want to use a little more pressure, and as we move towards the center of the wing, we'll loosen up on our pressure. Keep in mind that you'll want to overlap some of the brown pencil that we did previously, and that will help blend the two colors together. I've highlighted each of the scallops down the left wing, and now I'm going to move to the other side. I don't need to use a lot of pressure, just enough to get some bright highlights on that wing. The white has a lot of pigment in it, so a little pressure goes a long way. Also with the white pencil, we'll want to highlight the collar. And the white area of the flower. The highlight is strongest up at the tip of this teardrop, and then I'll lighten up my pressure as I move on down. It's a good idea to refer to your shading guide found in your packet. It has little dots indicating where the shading needs to be and gives you a good idea of how strong the shading needs to be in the certain areas. We're back to using the sienna brown pencil now to shade her face and hands. I'm starting at her forehead. The darkest area would be the top of the forehead, and then as I move down, I'm loosening up on my pressure. Now I'm going to work on the eyebrow area. The shading is a little darker up by the eyebrow. And then down underneath the chin. Now we'll go ahead and shade the hands with the sienna brown pencil. I'm working on the wrists. The shading is strongest up against the sleeve. And then between the fingers. And on the right wrist. Moving ahead, we'll go ahead and shade her cheeks and her lips with the poppy red pencil. The color is strongest against the hair. And then I want it to fade to nothing as I move towards the middle of her face. It's important that we keep the pencil sharp. I'm going to stop and use my eraser to lighten up the cheeks a bit. I feel like they are somewhat dark, so I'm going to soften them up towards the center of the cheek. There, that seems a little better. Wipe it clean. Now we'll move to the hair and do some shading. We'll be using our French Gray 90% pencil, and I'm starting out by lining my hairlines here just so that I can reinforce them and I know where to go. Okay, that gives me a good reference point. I'm going to start up at the crown of the head and shade away from the crown. I'm moving down the left side of the hair. And I'll shade a little bit on the edge of the hairline there. Now we'll switch over and shade the right side. Moving to the partridge, we'll shade the tail. Now using my poppy red pencil, I'm going to go and shade the head of the partridge. I'm going to bring the color down into the neck a bit. Still working on the partridge, I'm going to shade the back with a little bit of sienna brown pencil. And then this back section here, I'm going to also shade with a little sienna brown. A little sienna brown to shade the hair a bit here and there. I'd like to warm up the color. Then down here by the tail. And over to the left side. Now it's time to shade the blouse, and we'll be using the aquamarine pencil. Make sure your point is sharp. Okay, to shade right over the painted stripes. I've shaded the bottom of each sleeve and underneath the hands, and now I'll work on the scallops. This time I'm going to be using the indigo blue pencil to deepen and reinforce the shading. Next, you'll want to lightly highlight the sleeves with the white pencil. Make it nice and bright up against the edge and then fade it down to nothing as you move towards the middle of the sleeve. Now we'll be shading the flowers and skirt with a poppy red pencil. I'm going to start out with the lower petals and add a little color to those. And then just the inside of the upper petals, like so. On the middle flower, just shade around the curved edge of the flower. Now shade the dot at the base of the flower. And the upper portion of the skirt.